If things keep going the way it is now, we will have a worldwide chip shortage soon. No, not that kind of chip. These chips. With our life so ingrained in technology nowadays, it's hard to imagine some sort of chip shortage. It sounds hard to believe, I know. While you may not feel the pinch of this chip shortage yet, it certainly is real, with one of the latest products to be hampered being the PS5 and the Ford 150. That's right, one of the reasons it's so hard to get your hands on a PS5 right now is because of the chip shortage situation. The other reason is because of scalpers. We recently made a video about that, so be sure to check that one out. Even industry titans like Ford have had to cut production on their vehicles like the Ford 150 because of this shortage. So, if the chip shortage situation does not abate soon, getting your hands on things like computer, smartphones, gaming consoles, actually all things electronic, will be quite difficult indeed. So what is actually causing the shortage? Now, when it comes to actual cause of the chip shortage, it's important to note that it's not just one factor. Rather, it is something of a perfect storm where many things just seem to go wrong at once. Let's have a look at what they are. Pandemic-related work stoppage. When the never-ending COVID pandemic started, many industries inevitably experienced decline or in some cases, complete halt in their production line. Silicon semiconductor manufacturers were not immune and also took a hit. As the pandemic situation got better, some of the manufacturers were somewhat able to get back on their feet and restarted their manufacturing process. What they were faced with though was a big backlog of orders. Because remember, even during the pandemic, the world, especially the internet, still went on, and actually even more so since people have so much more free time on their hands. Some studies even show that people need more electronics to reduce their COVID-induced void. Which brings us to the next point. Demand seriously overtaking supply. Now, the demand for chip far outstrips supply. I'm sure my economic teacher would have some very clever remarks about that, but to most of us, what this means is not enough chips to go around. Like I pointed out earlier, the COVID pandemic causes many people to be locked at home with too much free time, which in turn make people seek entertainment through electronic means. Huawei declines following their debacle with the US government also left a void that many other phone manufacturers have tried to fill, which also increased global demand for chips. It doesn't take a genius to see that this means demand for electronics skyrocketed. Since the supply chain is now in shambles, the demand is now far outpacing supply. Shipping and logistics. Adding salt to the wound is the fact that worldwide shipping and logistics has also gone out the window during the pandemics as well. They are also in the process of restarting. If you have tried to order anything during the first wave of the pandemic, you would have experienced the breakdown in shipping firsthand. Let's just say it wasn't pretty. The situation got better during the second wave of the pandemic, but shipping and logistics in general sure wasn't the well-oiled machine it once was. It turns out the shipping situation wasn't bad for consumer only. It was also a nightmare for manufacturers as well. Raw materials and general transportation here just really hurt all industries, and the chip manufacturers were hit just as hard. And when manufacturers can't get their hands on all the things they need to actually make the chips, it causes delay, and it could also mean it costs more for the manufacturers to make each chips. Who will be affected and in what ways? Since the shortage is just beginning, many of us haven't felt it yet. But in the not so far future, everyone trying to get their hands on some piece of new tech will be facing some delay. How much of a delay is another matter, and the delay will come in many forms. For example, some phone manufacturers may opt to delay launching a new model altogether, while another may push on with the original release date and risk supply chain problems and deal with it as it arises. Some companies will be more subtle and choose to allocate what chips they can find for their flagship models and delay launching their more ordinary models instead. What is most worrying for most consumers though is that with more demand than supply, the price usually increases. Experts predict that the supply line will not be back to normal for at least a year or two. So I, for one, will be taking good care of my current electronics because who knows how long it would take for a new one to become available. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, press that like button, and leave a comment. It will help us out a lot. Thank you!